All right, Anthony Joshua's camp manager, KD, part of 258, has said that Joshua is now doing some training, right? He's not doing full blown camp. His main camp will be with Derek James, but for the time being, while he's ticking over, he's actually training he's training in the gym with Ben Davison. Ben Davison, obviously, well, we all know about Ben Davison, but former coach, former head trainer of Tyson Fury. Now, he's obviously not trained Tyson Fury for 4 years. Last fight he trained him was the Oliver Lean fight, 23rd of September 2019. I believe that was the actual. It was the end of September. I think that was the date. And after that, John Fury, which was one of the times where John Fury was bang on the money, where he said Tyson needs a new trainer, needs to get rid of him. Tyson did, went to Sugar Hill. The rest is history. It's been a very, very good move. He's added elements to Fury's game that Ben Davison, at that point, just wasn't doing. Whether he does it now or not, it remains to be seen. Obviously, he's not going to be training Tyson Fury again, but whether he could do it differently now, we'll never know. But Joshua's in camp with him. And that's interesting. You know, of all the places, he decides to go in with Ben Davison. That's an interesting choice. Just for that reason, you know. Joshua, I wonder, is this... Peter Fury has always been spoke quite well of Joshua. And obviously, Peter Fury is obviously the uncle of Tyson Fury. He would never train Anthony Joshua. I know that him and Tyson haven't been on the best of terms over the last couple of years. It kind of stems from the Parker fight, the Parker-Huey fight. I think there was some issues there with... I don't remember the ins and outs, but they've not been exactly the closest. But obviously, there is still that family bond there. And I'm sure that even if they're not, you know, seeing each other regularly, I'm sure Peter would never go and train one of Tyson's rivals. Never would do it. And no one would expect him to do it anyway. Maybe Joshua feels like, you know, see how Ben Davison is. See if Ben Davison can teach me anything as well. And, you know, if he ever was to fight Tyson Fury, which I'm sure that is a goal for Joshua, to fight a champion again, whether it be Usyk. Well, he won't be beating Usyk. That he's not going to beat Alexander Usyk. But if he gets a chance against Tyson Fury, maybe he could pick things up from Ben Davison. Who knows? Obviously, he will be going back into camp with Derek James. Derek James, as it even says here, that is his main trainer. He's based himself over in the States with Derek James. And, you know, I'll talk a bit more about Ben Davison now in a sec. But if we look at Joshua under Derek James, in terms of him from a, you know, boxing point of view, technique, etc., his jab looks better, his footwork looks better, he looks really good. Like, there's a lot to look at with Joshua's technical game under Ben Davison, under Derek James, and you'd say it does look good. But I don't think any trainer could really help Joshua in terms of the mental game. I think that's in Joshua's head. It's something that he's fighting himself, and I don't think that Robert Helenius fight was just... If you look at the jab, was very good. The footwork was very good. The judges a lot of it was very good, but just he was scared. There's just no if supposed to be scared of his own shadow to let his hands go. Don't know if any trainer can sort that out. I really don't. I don't think someone like Ben Davison can either. Ben Davison, I do rate as a trainer. He is a very good trainer. I think that Ben Davison, he doesn't do himself any favours. That's just from the outside. He doesn't do himself any favours when he goes and he does interviews and he comes across as maybe not the nicest character. Not always, but sometimes. And I think that takes away from him as a trainer, because people want to look for the bad. Whenever he has a fighter lose, like he did with Lee Wood back against Mauricio Lara back in February, people say, Ben Davison, that's all Davison's fight, should never have thrown in the towel. Well, they ran it back and Lee Wood done a job on Mauricio Lara. And people say, well, who's Ben Davison ever brought to world level? Lee Wood? Lee Wood was a British level fighter 4 years ago. He was losing to Jazza Dickens 4 years ago on that golden contract tournament that promotional managerial company, I should say, were running. He was losing to Jazza Dickens. Jazza Dickens got brutally knocked out in his last fight and has never come close to winning a world title. Lee Wood's now a two-time WBA champion, and he's having a fight this weekend against Josh Warrington in a big fight. I'm looking forward to that fight. That's going to be a great fight. And when he was losing to Jazza Dickens, Lee Wood, I think he was trained by Dave Colwell. I think he was. I think him and Jordan Gill were stable mates. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was Dave Colwell. If anyone wants to correct me on that, feel free. I'm pretty sure it was Colwell. Dave Colwell's not a bad trainer, but he couldn't do anything with Lee Wood. See, with Ben Davison, you're seeing a different fighter. He looks better. And, people want to, say, oh, Josh, who was it? Shane McGuigan saying, Josh Taylor under Ben. That's the Josh Taylor I remember. He looked better under Ben Davison than he did with his trainer McNally. Than he did in the Teofimo Lopez. So he looked better with Ben. I think Josh Taylor just messed up the weight against Cattrall and underestimated him, a bit like we all did. And I think that's why the fight. Well, Jack Cattrall should have won the fight, but I think that's why Josh Taylor looked as flat as he did. He just messed the weight up, and he underestimated Cattrall. I don't think Ben Davison could have done any more for Josh Taylor in that fight than he did. You look at him at the fight before against Ramirez. That was a brilliant Josh Taylor. You could say that's the best Josh Taylor we've seen. That was under Ben Davison. Not a bad trainer is young Ben. Well, I think he's older than me, but not a bad trainer is Ben Davison. Not bad at all. That's my thoughts on this. Joshua, at the moment, is just training with Ben Davison, a bit of a tick over. Could he actually look to go down the road of actually training full-time with Ben Davison? Maybe Joshua wants to base himself in the UK again. Maybe he wants to stay. Ben Davison's gym's in Brentwood, isn't it? Which is actually near Matchroom's headquarters as well, funny enough. So he wouldn't be too far from, Matchroom's headquarters and London. Brentwood is not too far from London either. It's in Essex, isn't it? So, interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Joshua training just as a tick over with Ben Davison before going back to America to train with Derek James. What do you think? Could he learn anything from Ben Davison? Possibly. If he ever looks to fight Tyson Fury, maybe. If Fury versus Usyk, apparently it's a two-way rematch though. So we could get two fights with that, which could hold things up for the contenders like Joshua the Wilders, the Hrgovics, etc. But could Joshua be maybe looking at fighting, we obviously want to see him fight Wilder, but if he fights Hrgovic, and he beats Hrgovic, he's IBF mandatory. Mandatory for the winner of Fury Usyk. If Fury wins, which I expect him to, there you go. There you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. We get the subs up. 13,211 subs at this moment of time. We are going to smash 15k. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.